Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother, and this is my May game chat. And good news, we have been getting our game on in May. And I'm going to go through the games that we've been playing, but I also have an audience question for this one, mostly to help because there's a lot of really good feedback I get whenever I ask these questions, and I'll come up here in a minute. First of all, I want to talk about a few of the games. We did another Try-As-On game party, and they sent us Kabuto Sumo, and it's from a local board game company in Kansas that's really close to us, and they're called All Play Games, and they used to be called BoardGameTables.com, and they have the most amazing board game carrying bags that we have, and we've used a ton and really like, but now they've been starting to come out with some board games that are doing pretty well, and so I think that's why they changed from being Board Game Tables to All Play, because they do everything. Kabuto Sumo is basically like a coin pusher type game, and it's sort of a dexterity game where you're trying to push in little pieces, and your sumo beetle, you're trying to push off the other player's sumo beetle in order to win the game. This seems to be great for kids. We played this with my kids. They were so excited. And then I played it with my ladies game night group. And we play some very nice strategy games. And it was a little underwhelming in that situation. It wasn't a good fit for us. However, my husband, a friend of his, also had done a Try-As-On game party and gotten this. Really, you should check out Try-As-On. Anybody can do it, and they have a lot of different parties. They're fun. And they played it at his workplace, and that was it was nice and light. It was easy at lunchtime to play with people who both played a lot of games and didn't, and they enjoyed it in that context. But I wasn't really sure what the right fit for this game was. After that, I lent it to a friend who plays a lot of board games, and they said kind of the same thing. As an adult, it was so-so for them, but their child really enjoyed it and then, in fact, asked for it for his birthday, for a birthday present. So it's good for the right demographic. Just know what the demographic is. It's kind of a dexterity game without speed and without any big loud noises or things that like little pieces fall off. So it's not like you're building some big structure and it falls down. It's kind of a more mellow version of dexterity game, but it's really pretty, excellent pieces, and so just know who you're going for, and then it's great for you. We also had, my husband and I had our anniversary, and I got for him as his big anniversary gift, Camel Up, the card game, and he was very excited because Camel Up has been a favorite of his. It's longer than 20 minutes, but it's camel racing, and you're betting on the camels, and it's just kind of hilarious and fun. And this was billed as a more strategic, you can control more of the outcome. You're trying to have the most money at the end from all of your bets and have your camel cross the finish line first and get the most coins to win. It was a beast to read through the rules. Our first playthrough, this is a 30 to 45 minute game, took us almost 2 hours to get through all of the rules, and we're very used to reading through rule books. It just took a while. The gameplay was really fun, and then we were excited to play it with some friends who introduced us to Camel Up and are really into Camel Up, and we played a 4-player version of it, and I think it was more fun with 4 players, but these friends, we preferred the original. And these friends they play a lot of strategy games. They play a lot longer games than I do. The wife loves viticulture as her favorite, and her husband played Terraforming Mars with some friends at a family. So it's like big beasts of games they're not afraid of strategy. And it felt like a better fit, the original Camel Up. So this is good, I think, if you've played a lot of Camel Up and just kind of want to switch it up, or if you just really like having a little bit more control, then perhaps you'd enjoy that better. I like it. I think it's great to bring as like a travel way to play Camel Up because it's a big box normally, but it's for you have to find, again, the right audience for it. And this comes to my next point in the question, because the other game I brought along for our anniversary day was Kariba, which is a very cute game where you have animals at a watering hole, and larger animals, if you play cards out, get to scare away smaller animals, and then you collect cards, and you're trying to have the most cards at the end of the game. It took 2 or 3 minutes to be up on running on the rules, and we played 2 or 3 games in a row, and then we brought it home, and I played it with my kids right away. So we've played this so many more times than we've played Camel Up the card game already, because it was so easy. It fit easily on our restaurant tables. It's one that gets played a lot and is easy to bring along with you. On that note, I also recently played Mantis for the first time, and this is by the makers of Exploding Kittens. And it's kind of in the same vein as that, where it's a push your luck game, and you have little piles of, it's just cards. You have little piles of cards in front of you, and you're trying to bank a certain number of cards first, and then whoever does that is the winner. And you have cards face up in front of you, and when you have the next card in the stack, it has 3 different colors on the back of it. So it's 1 in 3 odds if it's a particular color you want it to be. If there's blue and purple and pink, and you want it to be blue, if you flip it over on your stack, 1 in 3 odds that it's going to be that. And so if it matches something on your stack, you get to collect those cards. If you play it on somebody else's stack and it matches theirs, you get to steal their cards, but they aren't banked yet. You have to have it match on your own side to bank it. And we picked it up like that. We played it on a restaurant table. It was so much fun, and it's the kind that you just want to play over and over and over again. So I need restaurant type games. What are good games to play in a restaurant? Because they need to be pretty quick, but fun. Both Mantis and Kariba are okay at 2-player, but are generally better with more. And it just kind of depends. If you're out with friends, maybe it's nice to have a good 4-player game. But what are the really good 2-player games that you're just like, oh, every time I go out to a restaurant, my husband and I used to bring cribbage, one of the best 2-player games in the whole world. You just need a deck of cards and a little cribbage board to count things up. But that, I think, is just, those are the games that get played all the time because they're quick, compact, easy. And so write them in the comments, or you can email me your ideas for good restaurant games, because I need them. The other games we played this month, Don't Llama Dice was kind of a big deal when it came out, because Don't Llama, also by the same game creator as Kariba, by the way, Reiner Knizia, is one of the most prolific game creators, and he makes really good games. Don't Llama Dice is you're trying to have the least chips at the end of the game. The chips are weirdly negative in negative value, and you're trying to have the least of them. I don't know why they chose to have them be negative value, but that's what it is. And you're rolling dice and trying to get rid of the cards in front of you. We prefer the original Don't Llama. However, we can play this with my 4-year-old, and the cards are face up in front of you, so we can help her with whatever she needs to. Oh, look, you matched this number or matched this one, so you can remove that, and she can get it all on her own. She really doesn't need any help. And we've had some amazing family game nights where we got to play this with my daughter, with my parents. We had 6 people sitting around the table playing this together, because it goes up to 6 players, and we had an absolute blast. My oldest son, who likes strategy games, was angry about the amount of luck in this game. It's just, you got to be on board with that, or you're not going to be happy. But it's fun. I'm very happy we have it in the collection, and it's little, compact, easy to bring along. So we're definitely bringing this on some trips this summer, because having a game that the 4-year-old can play, but also the older kids and adults, all together in happiness, and anyone has a chance to win, is really wonderful. Planted was kind of a big deal too. It's a Phil Walker Harding game. He made Sushi Go and Super Mega Lucky Box, and he just makes these quick little, this is a 20-minute game, and you're trying to end with the most points, and the theme is on point, the little pieces to it, the components are fantastic, and We've only gotten to play through it once. It is more strategic than Sushi Go. It is more strategic than Super Mega Lucky Box. There is a bit going on for this game. Reading through the rule book the first time was a little bit of a chore. But we made my oldest son do it because he's amazing at reading through rule books and he loves it. But it's one of those ones where I would play it every night and be very happy. It just kind of fits the nice like strategy. And my older son loves it because there's some luck, but there's no dice rolling, and it's strategic. And the people, generally, if you're making the better strategic decisions, you're going to win. And then finally, we got out Magic Mountain, which was the German kids game of the year. And so I was really excited to play this one. And it fell a little flat for us. It's okay. It's like Plinko, and it's a cooperative game, and you're trying to get your students down the wizard students down the hill ahead of the witches, and it's really cool. They've got these really pretty marbles, which are the will-o'-the-wisps that are moving you along, but you play it, and there's some strategy. It's just kind of Plinko. It's kind of lucky where it goes, and so we play it once or twice, and the kids are like, okay, I'm going to play a different game. It's not the type that they're excited to play over and over and over again. That said, I could give it to anybody can figure it out. It's very, very easy. So it's good. It's kind of, I'd say, like a Playdate level game, except you have to teach a little more rules. So I'm not exactly sure the correct demographic for this game. And it's been okay, but we have a lot of different games around here, and I've been trying to talk the 4-year-old into playing this with me more than I think I should have to for a fancy, like, this theme and the marbles and everything. So it's okay, but I don't know if I would run and out and get this. This is like another additional one to get if you like it, but I don't know. It's interesting. I think sometimes the game of the year, if there's a really nice novelty factor, it ups it a notch or two, and it has a really nice novelty factor. It just doesn't have the replay level that I would prefer to have in the game. Besides that, I had a Girl Scout Leader Appreciation event that I got to help run this past month, and I would like to put a plug in for just simple games for big group gatherings. There were 50 people there. There were kindergarten girls and there were parents with their daughters, so there were some kindergarten girls through much older girls and adults, and they all just kind of wanted to chat, and there needed to be an activity going on while they were chatting. In previous years, they'd played Bunko and then switched tables, but I said I did not want to play Bunko. Sorry, Bunko. And so I had a variety of games at different tables, and it was things like headbands, which is basically 20 questions. Uno, we had different versions of Uno. Tenzi, where you're just rolling the dice until it's 10 of the same number. And I had Cinco Linko, was like the push game where I had to say, okay, you're trying to get 5 in a row. And then I also had story cubes because you just tell stories and it's fun. It went over really well, but I would like to put a plug in for just know your audience, especially for these things. If people are not on board with learning a new board game, they don't really want to, you're not going to dazzle them with bringing along even Kariba in that group would not have gone over well. You're having to learn basically any rules, and people are there just to relax and chat, and they are not necessarily board game people. So everybody had a nice time. If they have a positive time, then you can spring more games on them in the future is my goal and my mission. And then finally, I don't know if I mentioned this in these chats yet, but I'm on the Dice Tower now. It's a very large YouTube presence if you haven't checked it out. And they do a lot of the like serious hobby games, but they found my channel and liked what I was doing and asked if I wanted to have a segment on their board game smorgasbord. And so I've been submitting segments every other week, and you can check them out. And if you want to skip to just me, I have it on my website where under one of the links, if I have my board game lists, I have linked all of the times I've appeared on Board Game Smorgasbord, and it just goes directly to when I start talking. But I have kind of some mini lists is what I've started to do for that. So I have some about really good bang for your buck board games, like 3 games, and I recently filmed one for slightly inappropriate board games and how that works to make kids want to play games. Yes, I mostly talked about exploding kittens because that's what they do. But things are going really well. We're playing a lot of games. I'm excited about all the content that's going out, and help me out by telling me about restaurant games because I need some good ones. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time from Game Like a Mother.